Hi, I'm Zane with Zane Engineers Life. So it's Friday story time, and here we go again. So I've been working in my career for a while, and I've worked for the big corporation, and it was super boring. And I've worked for the smaller consulting firm, exciting, a lot of politics. And so now I'm working at a place where I've gone from one of the smartest people in the building to one of the dumbest. So I've got a master's in engineering. I'm a pretty smart dude, but I get in the building and there's a whole lot of designers and engineers that have PhDs in engineering. And these guys are really, really good at what they do. They are geniuses. So I'm working with these guys and I'm learning a lot of stuff. And I decide to take one of my dad's key pieces of advice. He taught me that lunch is cheap and knowledge and connections are the most important thing there is. So, what you do is you take people to lunch and you get them talking. So, I decide to do this. I've got all these super genius engineers around me, and I slowly begin to peel them away from their work every now and again, and I take them out to lunch. And what I do is I offer to buy them lunch, and in return, I get to ask one question. So as it goes along, there's this one big monster super project. And again, I'm working with a bunch of PhDs in engineering, and we're designing things not just to the thousandths of an inch, we're designing things to arc seconds. Now, I don't know if you know what an arc second is, but it is 1/3600th of a degree. You can't actually show it on paper because the lines touch. That's how tight that angle is. So we're building things to thousandths of inches to arc seconds of accuracy. And there's one particular engineer, he's an older Chinese engineer. He's really good. He's built this machine that moves around this positioner in a plane that is 40 feet by 40 feet and will stop within a few thousandths of an inch of exactly where he wants it in XYZ coordinates. Basically, he's done the impossible. So, a little more of the story for that for later. But for now, so I decide, hey, this dude's brilliant. I'm going to take him to lunch. So I go by and make my offer. Hey, I'll buy lunch if I can ask you one question. He says, okay, Zane, let's go. So we go to lunch and pretty nice place. I wanted to impress him. You know, I didn't mind the bill's going to be high, but the information's going to be a lot, right? So we go to lunch and we're sitting there for a few minutes, just kind of pleasantries. And finally, I go, okay, I'm going to ask my question. And he goes, go ahead. And so I ask him this, pretty complicated engineering question. And he sits there and he's eating his food. And I don't know, maybe a minute and a half, 2 minutes go by. And he goes, so Zane, you did not say I had to answer a question. Crap. He got me. So he actually made me buy him a second lunch at an even nicer place to actually get him to answer the question. So the moral of the story today, listen to your dad. He's probably got some pretty good advice. And then, more importantly, especially as engineers, make sure you've got the scope and the deliverables very, very clear. I had not been clear, and he had gotten me. So, there's your story for the day. If you found that helpful or entertaining, smash that like button, subscribe, watch to the end, really help us out with these Google algorithms so that we get displayed to more people. And please share us somewhere. Help us out, help us get the word out. These Friday stories are a lot of fun and things to help me kind of tie my engineering career and give you guys some cool things to chuckle about or in some cases make fun of me about. But they're there to help us. If you guys have some cool stories, please post them in the comments. I'd like to eventually get some of you to come on and share some of your stories. Maybe we can create the Dilbert of video engineering here. So I'm Zane with Zane Engineers Life, and we'll make you better.